Fresh snow tells a story, and on a cold Bavarian morning in 1922, it told a terrifying one. Andreas Gruber stepped out from his remote farmhouse, Hinterkaifeck, and saw a confession written in the frost. A single set of footprints led from the dark edge of the forest straight to his door, but none led back. This was the first hint of a presence that had already breached their walls. Soon, the family heard soft, measured steps from the attic above them. A newspaper from Munich, a city they hadn't visited, appeared on their porch. The chilling realization began to dawn. They were not alone. Even now, a century later, with all our cameras and smart locks, the fear remains. We can be alerted to a stranger at the gate, but technology cannot warn us of the one already inside. On the evening of March 31st, a new maid arrived, settling her things by the stove as dusk fell. By the morning of April 1st, she and every other soul on that farm had been murdered. The barn and the house sat silent under a blanket of snow. But the creepiest fact was not the violence itself. It was the patient, unseen presence that had watched them, lived among them, and waited. For the next 3 days, the farm appeared to be alive. Neighbors saw smoke curling from the chimney. They heard the familiar sounds of cattle in the barn. They assumed the Gruber family had simply gone to town. The air carried the smell of cooking food, a sign of life that was in fact a grotesque deception. Someone was still there, going about the daily chores. When a search party finally entered the home on April 4th, they found a scene of unsettling domesticity. Embers still glowed in the stove. A plate in the kitchen held the remnants of a recent meal. A bed upstairs was still indented from where a head had rested. In the barn, the animals had been fed and watered. The evidence was undeniable. The killer did not flee. They lingered. They tended the farm, ate the family's food, and slept in their beds, all while the bodies of their victims lay just feet away. This is the true haunting fact of Hinterkaifeck. The horror isn't just in the act of murder, but in the cold, calculated performance of life that followed. The house lived on because the killer made it live. While a village wondered where their neighbors were, a stranger was keeping their fires lit. If running is an act of fear, then staying is something far more chilling. It's an act of ownership.